Live in Gaithersburg
You did?
and Falls Church and
Oh, okay.
McLean. Yeah.
Yep. I know that area well.
Madam Mayor, it's time to start.
Okay. Let's have a mic check before we get started, please.
Check.
Test 1, 2.
Check.
Check. Check.
And
Check.
can you hear me, Margaret?
I can't hear you. I haven't heard Carla yet.
I was your first one.
I guess that's why I didn't hear you. Okay, good.
Okay. Well. So is our recording in progress? Yes. Okay. All right. Welcome to the September 19th, 2023 City Council meeting. And we will start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, excuse me. Yes, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Wadsworth. Here. Councilman Sindretta.
Here.
Councilman Reed.
Here.
Councilwoman Funk. Councilwoman Alcazar. Here.
Okay,
I make a motion to excuse Sarah Funk.
as long as she called in or did something.
She texted me and letting me know that she was under the weather.
Okay,
So I'd like to make a motion to excuse Sarah Funk.
Second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Alcazar, aye.
Okay, motion carries. So moving on to the consent agenda, and I will say right up front, and this is my fault. We have on the yellow sheet, we have regular council meetings for September 19th. That should read September 5th. So, and I also want to apologize for that getting out on Saturday, but we had some emergencies and anyway, that's why it was a day late. So with that, I would see if we can go through the consent agenda.
I motion to approve the September 5th, 2023 City Council consent agenda as written with the date change from the 19th to the 5th.
Second.
All in favor?
Sandra, do I?
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Alcazar, aye.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is a proclamation. And I am going to read the proclamation now, but we have put it, the resolution that goes with this under items for approval. Whereas the Constitution of the United States of America is a testament to the resolve of the American people to maintain their rights, liberties, and freedoms. And whereas President Dwight D. Eisenhower declared the national observance of Constitution Week in 1956. And whereas Constitution Week provides the nation with an opportunity to read and reflect on this important document in America's history. And whereas the Daughters of the American Revolution, including the Columbia River chapter, have promoted and encouraged this week-long commentation of the Constitution. Whereas September 17th, 2023 is celebrated as Constitution Day and marks the 236th anniversary of the drawing of the Constitution of the United States of America. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that I, Linda Lehman, Mayor of Benton City, Washington, and the City Council do hereby proclaim September 17th through the 23rd, 2023 as Constitution Week for the City of Benton City. Okay. So the next item is the approval of the agenda.
There are no amendments, so a motion to approve is written.
Second,
Okay. All in favor?
Sandra, I.
Wadsworth, I.
Reed, I.
Alcazar, I.
Okay, motion carries. The agenda is approved as is. Are there any visitor comments today? Okay, hearing none. The next item is our regular reports. The staff report is in the packets. We have Washington State Cannabis and Liquor Report, Treasurer's Report, Planner's Report. George, did you want to give your report?
Yes.
Okay. Please come forward.
Good evening, Mayor Lehman, members of council. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. My planner's report for tonight. Excuse me, I wrote it on September 13th, so it's about a week in advance. We've received a few applications in the meantime. Give you an update on what we've been working on. Dinah Lane realignment. That's an existing road, access road with the intersection of Dale Avenue and 7th Street. Near the Bridge Park. The SEPA environmental checklist was submitted to the Department of Ecology for review, and that went through. And I've, in the meantime, here this last week, wrote up a determination of non-significance and issued that to the Department of Ecology. So that's on their website. That's a requirement after the SEPA has been reviewed by the Department of Ecology as well as the other resource agencies, and so it's got a clear avenue to proceed on this. Speak Engineering, I believe, is going to be working with the NEPA environmental review. That'll be coming up, so I'll probably be assisting on that where needed. Received a short plat application and new family residential construction application at 1110 11th Street. So that's currently under review. 509 Carroll Avenue received a short plat application to divide an existing 2.72 acre parcel into 2 lots. And that's under review. Reviewing a request for a street vacation in the industrial park at 1600 Dale Avenue. Working on that. That looks pretty good to proceed with that. Received an application for building a duplex at 25202 North Willard Avenue. And we're reviewing that. We had a pre-application meeting a couple of weeks ago for a subdivision for 209 lots on 40 acres, just west of Kybee Market and Highland Road. Not west of Highland Road, but on the other side. The engineers for that project are going to submit their preliminary plat to the city here in the next couple of days with their fees. So we'll be reviewing that. There will be at least a public hearing and probably a workshop with our planning commission here in the next month or two, and then that will follow up and go to the city council for review on that. We've received notice on 2 grant funding opportunities from the state. One is regarding or titled Washington State Climate Planning Grant. And that has been reserved for the city to assist to comply with the Growth Management Act under House Bill 1181. And that is in the amount of $100,000. And the initial application or letter is due October 31, 2023. So I'll be putting that together and presenting that to the council for discussion. And that is a requirement that we do that type of activity. So I'm still getting up to speed on that. It's a new type of planning grant for communities. And so everybody's in the same boat. I'll be attending a seminar or workshop with the other county planners on Thursday afternoon. And I think this is on their topic for discussion. There's also another opportunity, Community Wildfire Defense Grant opportunity. And this is under the federal Plan for Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. This is to help communities plan for wildfires. This is very near and dear to my heart on this. I've been reading up quite a bit on that, and there's a couple of cities in Oregon that recently have done this. One is the city of Ashland, and they were next door to Talent in Southern Oregon that had a big fire 2 years ago. And Butte Falls has another plan in action. And so it's going to be very interesting to take a look at that. And that also is the initial application or letter is due October 31. So we'll have further discussions on that. I believe that is it. I plan to have the planning commission meet later next month, I believe on the 26th of October. We have some work topics to work on our workshop, and we'll be looking at the floodplain rewrite for the code. That's been circulated around and we're still working on that. So we'll have a first blush with the planning commission to take a look at that. And that's new language for the code and regarding floodplain and floodplain issues. We'll be taking a look at the sub-area plan with hopefully with Michael McAfee, taking a look at design standards. So we're going to be pretty busy with the planning commission next month.
Okay, and we are waiting for the next draft of the our FEMA floodplain ordinance, which is at the attorney's right now.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you, George, and thank you for the grant opportunities.
Can I address planner, please?
Yes.
So you got an application for Willard Avenue. Is there a reason we're reviewing that?
That's a good question. In the old code, it required in the R2 zone for a duplex, required a conditional use. And under the new designs or new standards, that were adopted in June, it allows for an accessory structure to be constructed, which is a duplex or triplex.
Well, the reason I ask is Willard's actually outside the city limits. So that's why I'm asking the question.
I believe it's 13.
13th, I'm sorry, that's a misprint.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's up on 13th then?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's fine. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, everything sounds great.
So it's been pretty busy.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, George. Any other questions for George? Okay, hearing none, we will move on then to the council committee reports.
Since the last meeting, I again have attended another executive board meeting for Ben Franklin Transit, as well as the board of directors meeting. And at those meetings, we discussed general planning stuff, but one of the things that came out about at the board meeting is that it doesn't look under the FTA for transit. It does not look like we will be able to provide service out to the Hanford site,
Oh, you will not?
not in the capacity that was originally hoped for.
Yeah.
Maybe a drop-off point prior to the gate, but the site will have to provide transportation inside.
Oh,
Per our discussion. And then I also attended a nomination set meeting for Good Roads Association for the next year's slate of officers. Other than that, that's all I have to report.
okay. Anyone else? Okay, I attended this week the Benton Franklin Council of Governments audit, their exit audit. And the lady that did theirs is also the lady that's going to be doing ours. And I think we've gotten an initial contact. I think they're going to be working on what dates we can schedule for that. Okay. I think, did we have the Benton City Days? Oh, I think we talked about that on the 11th when we had our meeting, right? So,
The
okay.
workshop, did you guys discuss it?
I was just going to mention that we had the park dedication and Benton City Days following. That was a great turnout, and thanks to Wendy for putting all that on. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, then we shall move on to the sheriff's report. And Commander Clark.
Good evening, Mayor, council members.
Good evening.
Since you were just talking about Benton City Days, we did send a few extra deputies out in the area, and there was no major incidents that were reported to us. So I was out of town that weekend, but I heard it was a good time, so.
Yes, it was.
With, oh,
Thank you very much. You guys, the deputies you sent out there were out there the entire time dedicated to the event. We noticed it, everybody noticed it. It was very much appreciated.
okay,
They were awesome too.
Yeah.
Interacted with people and it was great.
I appreciate that. And yeah, it works out well when we get together and have the pre-planned meetings and stuff
Yeah.
to make sure that these events kick off and
Everything was awesome.
for the best for the family. So I appreciate that. Going on with that, there were no major incidents in Benton City for the month of August is what we're presenting here. We did have 204 calls for service, just up from a year ago where we had 193 calls for service. We had 24 case offenses during that period in August of this year. 7 infractions total inside the city limits. And as everybody knows, school is back in session, so we have our SRO back out here, Deputy Clipper, so he is in the schools. We're putting out the information, make sure that our deputies are working school zones to make sure that we get people to slow down with the kids that are out and about now, walking to and from school. So we will be focusing on the school zones and just taking care of business out here, but everything is going very well again, and I'm welcome to answer any questions. All right.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So. Okay, I think the next thing on the agenda is the Chamber of Commerce report.
Okay. So we are fresh out of Benton City Days. Thank you for attending and joining us. I think I saw all your faces out there. That was really nice. We are tired. That was a big weekend. I'd say that the numbers were great. Every event was well attended and we got a lot of good feedback. Honestly, I haven't heard any negative feedback yet, so hopefully it keeps going that way. Our numbers continue to grow, like every number on everything, including our attendance at events, our participation at events, people coming into the office, people calling. We're pretty popular these days. So yeah, otherwise we are currently planning movies in the park for next month. The Benton City People's Choice Awards are live right now. So if you know anybody in the community that deserves some recognition, get on our website and put their name out there. And then we've got Halloween, another Building Bridges networking event, which I highly recommend all council come to. It's a great event. You get to meet a lot of good people in the neighborhoods and outside the Tri-Cities. So, and then we're going to end the year with Winterfest. Is there any questions, comments, concerns?
See, your Facebook reach is over 50,000 now. That's
Yeah,
great.
more impressively, our website. Our website has been hopping. Almost 5,000 clicks this
Wow,
last quarter alone.
wow.
So when 5 years ago, when I built the website, we were getting maybe 300 clicks a quarter. So it's really growing. We're really getting out there, getting the attention that we need. And I think having this stuff available to the community at easy access has definitely helped the numbers for our events too. So,
Right.
Uh,
Okay,
Yep.
any questions for Wendy?
right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And before we get on to the items for discussion, I do want to acknowledge that both our mayor candidates are here. So we have Lynn Burton and Jake Mokler in the audience. So welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for attending.
Okay. Now we have items for discussion and we have Jose talking about the dangerous tree removal as that was tabled till today. So it's back on. So Jose?
Yeah, Claire, thank you. Currently still waiting on a few more bids to come in. Unfortunately, we had some bids come in incorrectly bidded the whole work. As soon as I get those in, I should be ready for the next council meeting to submit for approval.
Okay, and can you explain how you did this? Did you ask for the whole park or did you just ask for specific trees?
I asked for the whole park, starting at City Park because we host all our main events at the City Park, so I want to start there. And then talking to Jenny, unfortunately, there's some tree. I don't know what's going on with Fish and Wildlife at the boat launch. Until I get an okay from her to move forward out there, I haven't done nothing out there as far as bids go. And as soon as I want to stagger this out into phases. So phase one would be to do all the trees at City Park, and then budget permitting, then move on to Legion Park, and then start going down to the smaller parks.
Okay. Any questions for Jose? Okay, hearing none. Jose, stay around because we have, you're on the next one. So the City Park fencing.
Okay, so a little update for the fencing. So I met with Brad today from Frontier Fencing. He's the one that won the award for the fencing at Mountain View Park, Blacktop Park, and then we're gonna put some fencing around Legion Park, around the water tower and the booster station. So as far as scheduling goes, we're looking at about like 2 weeks out, and we're gonna start at Mountain View Park. That's the first park that we're gonna get fenced in, and then phase 2 would be doing Legion Park, where the water tower and the booster station are at. And then the last phase of the fencing is going to be Blacktop Park, due to the fact that we still have Total Site working out there grading the park out. So we're a little bit behind schedule due to Total Site still working on the grading out there.
And do you expect to get all that done this year?
The fencing this year, yes. The grading, yes. And then Len has been helping me out with the irrigation. So I think we should be able to do everything but hydro seeding and Blacktop Park. Hydro seeding is already going to be next year, next season, early spring.
Okay. Any questions for Jose on the fencing?
Nope, sounds like we're
Okay.
moving ahead.
Yeah,
That's good.
thank you.
Mhm.
Appreciate it.
Okay, the next item is the discussion of wet well number 1 relining project and level controls installation. And Nathan, you're gonna handle that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members.
Good evening.
Doing well today. It was discussed I don't believe it was the last meeting, but the meeting before that, the wet well number 1 at the wastewater treatment plant is requiring relining. It's very corroded due to what goes in there. So we sent out a bid packet and received bids on the 11th, reviewed the bids, and the low bid for that was Columbia Industrial Coatings in the amount of $114,200.22. You should have the bid tabulation on file there. We've reviewed the bids. We've conducted reference checks on Columbia Industrial and received positive references through the city of Boardman and also Ray Poland and Sons. And Columbia Industrial is also committed to having this project done by the end of October, which was a deadline for us so that we avoid freezing weather for the bypass pumping. So with that, when we were obtaining bids for this, our Wade, our treatment operator, requested that we also replace the controls in there, because that would be the time that it's empty and cleaned. And that way, if any of those need to be maintained, the level controls, he'll be able to access them from above the tank, not having to go in the tank. So we also got a proposal from our Total Energy Management, who we already have a contract with for emergency services, in the amount of $13,000, and would like to do that at the same time as well. If we were to wait, the cost would be greater, just because the corrosion is getting worse and worse there at the wet well. So there are 2 resolutions for approval for this coming up. One is for Columbia Industrial for the actual relining, and the other is for Total Energy Management for the level control system. And we'll request your approval for those so we can move forward with contracting those services this year. I have worked with administrative staff here at the city, and there are funds in the budget for that. I have the line items I could go through if you would like, but we do have funds available for that.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead with the line items then?
Okay. So there is 75,000 in line item 597-000103. We've got another, kind of go back and forth here. Another 14,000 in line item 594-354106, which is lift stations. Another 10,000 on account 594-356304, which was 9th Avenue sewer repair, which we're not doing this year, so we'll move this over to that. And then 9th Street repairs, which is account number 530-6302 in the amount of 20,000. And that should take care of everything. Questions, comments?
Mm-mm. I think we're good.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good with.
Okay, so this will come up under items of approval here soon.
Yes.
Okay,
Few other items to provide updates on. There is also a task order for approval today for water and sewer system generators. Am I okay to discuss this now, or should I
Yeah,
wait
you
for?
can.
Okay. That's for the engineering services for those generators. That is funding through the ARPA County Exchange. So the funding is available for that. And that will be for our services. And we've also have a sub-consultant of an electrical engineer to assist with that as well. And then I did want to just mention as well, if I may, an update on City Hall. I know we had a discussion about that at our last meeting. We are working on putting together a task order to provide options to the council, including appraisals with and without asbestos, and design from an architect for possible new build. So we plan to have that at the next council meeting for approval and review.
okay, would you like my old appraisals that I got?
That would be great. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah. And good news, the RCO grant that we approved a resolution for last meeting was submitted today. So we made the deadline, and hopefully we'll be hearing back from that and get to upgrade those, not upgrade, but get to repair those tennis courts. So,
Perfect. Thank you for doing that.
okay,
all right. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so the next item then is we will move to items for approval. And the first one is confirmation of our recreation coordinator, who is Mr. Kyle Spees, who is no stranger to us. But Kyle, would you like to come up and receive confirmation from the council? So, as you know, Kyle is taking over the summer program, which hopefully is going to be the fall program now. And that item has already been budgeted. It's the amount of money we have is, I don't know, Sherry can maybe help me, but I know we had about, I don't know, 1,900 or something for the salary. And we have a request for, how much was your request? 3,000, 4,000 reimbursement?
So over the course of the remainder of the year, I believe it was right around $5,000 for all of the activities we have.
Yes, and we have at least that much and probably a little more in the fund. And Kyle also has been made the chairman of the revitalization committee. So that's good. And his wife is the secretary now.
Congratulations.
Like,
Any discussion?
If you'd like.
Well, I'm asking the rest of the council.
Oh,
We have it. I was curious just because it doesn't specify any dollar amounts here on the yellow sheets. And is there a salary that goes along with that? Is there money in the budget for it?
That's what she was just discussing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there is definitely.
And how
Yes.
long was this contract with you?
I haven't seen specifics for the contract, but basically I've been doing all of the activities since the previous coordinator left. So basically the Benton City Community Outreach Program has become the remainder of the summer program, and then we're continuing our activities effectively.
In our,
Contract.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
He's hired
Bill.
as the recreation coordinator.
Yeah.
In our ordinance 1056, we have $5,541 for salary, and that will cover 290 hours of work.
So If there's no objections, I'll go ahead and make the motion to confirm Kyle Spies for recreation coordinator for the city of Benton City for the remainder of this year. Is that correct?
Okay,
Second,
okay, all in favor?
Sandra, do I?
Wadsworth, I.
Reed, I.
Alcazar, I.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. So the next item is resolution 2023 24. A resolution of the city of Benton City proclaiming the week of September 17th through September 23rd, 2023 as Constitution Week.
There's no discussion, so moved.
Second,
All in favor?
Sandra, do I?
Wadsworth, I.
Reed, I.
Alcazar, I.
Okay, motion carries. The third item is task order 2023-14, water sewer system generators, ARPA funded project.
I have zero discussion, so,
Anyone else have any discussion?
okay, motion, I move to approve task order 2023-14 water sewer system generators in the amount of $49,700 to be funded from the ARPA project funds.
Second,
Okay, all in favor?
Sandra, do I?
Wadsworth, I.
Reed, I.
Alcazar, I.
Okay, motion carries. Item 4, resolution 2023-26. Resolution of the city of Benton City, Washington, awarding the bid for wet well number 1 relining project to Columbia Industrial Coatings of Richland, Washington, and further authorizing the mayor to execute the contract documents.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
Sandra, do I?
Wadsworth, I.
Reed, I.
Alcazar, I.
Okay, motion carries. Item 5, resolution 2023-27. A resolution of the city of Benton City, Washington, authorizing the mayor to draft and execute an agreement for wet well number 1 level controls installation project to Total Energy Management and HVAC Services of Richland, Washington.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
Sandra, do I?
Wadsworth, I.
Reed, I.
Alcazar, I.
Okay, motion carries. All right. The last one is resolution 2023-28. A resolution of the city of Benton City, Washington, authorizing the mayor to execute and submit to Benton County appropriate documents, including a franchise agreement from Benton County to the city of Benton City for water and sewer lines within certain county roads.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Sandra, do I?
Wadsworth, I.
Reed, I.
Alcazar, I.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Okay, we have no executive sessions. Do we have any final comments?
Madam Mayor, Madam Mayor, may I have the floor?
Yes, you may.
I would like to take a moment to thank Mr. Jose Barragan. Friday afternoon, we had an medical emergency that was caused by a sinkhole on 9th Street. I contacted Jose and he recognized the importance of it. And by Monday afternoon, the problem had been resolved. So I would like to thank him for his hard work and quick reaction on that.
Great. Okay,
Thank you.
I had not heard about it. What was the sinkhole caused by?
Jose, can you highlight on that?
So the sinkhole is just right in front of the damaged gear, wrestling gear, off of Main Road right there on the main drag. Um, I'm not 100% sure how the sinkhole happened. Like Bill mentioned, pretty much just took care of business. Contacted DOT. It is DOT road right there, 225. So Chad is awesome to work with over at the process depot, and so he took care of the situation. I'm just happy that it got resolved fast and quick.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for your quick action.
Thank you.
Okay. So, are there any comments or other actions that need to be discussed for the good of the group?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the Chamber for the Benton City Days. That was a fairly decent event. I appreciate that. Well, I'm a man of few words, right? I'm a man of few words. Well, unless I pontificate, which I'm about to do. I appreciate also the council for your indulgences with my work schedule as of late. I've been pretty much all over the country as of late, so thank you for that.
Okay,
And other than that, if nobody attended the dedication of the park, the mayor and Miss Carnahan and I and JD Flukinger dedicated that park. And it was a very well attended event by the family. We have other parks in the city. I'd encourage citizens, if you have a thought of somebody who is a local celebrity hero, to pass that information forward to the mayor. And that's all I have.
okay, thank you.
Is that your bid for a David Sandretto park?
No,
I'm just curious.
you have you ever seen that guy slink into the bushes? That's me. I don't want to be seen most of the time.
Okay, well, with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
I
Okay, thank you all for coming. Meetings